G'day taxpayers, Aussie dollar, 62 cents and around about 60 on the trade weighted index. So it's down a bit over the last few months, and that depreciation of the currency has led some to think that it might dissuade the RBA from cutting interest rates to try to support the dollar. Now, a couple of things. First of all, interest rate differentials have very little meaningful effect on the level of a currency, so they, first of all, wouldn't do it. Secondly, it's important to note that the Australian dollar is floating. For over 4 decades now, we've had a floating exchange rate that goes up and down according to a whole range of fundamentals. And for Australia, those fundamentals include commodity prices, the terms of trade, and they have been weaker, so that justifies a lower Aussie dollar. Economic growth has been weaker than most of our major trading partners, including in the US, so that justifies a weaker dollar, as international investors don't want to put money into a weak economy. We've got the trade balance deteriorating. We were running big current account surpluses a couple of quarters ago, and they're now into deficit. So that flow of money into the Aussie is less, and that fully justifies the weaker Aussie dollar. So if the RBA was worried about the Aussie dollar falling for reasons that were not linked to fundamentals, it may have a smidge of concern, but the reasons why the Aussie dollar is weaker are all fundamentally driven. In terms of trade balance, the international trade balance, domestic economic growth versus a lot of our competitors, and for those reasons alone, the lower dollar is justified. So when the RBA sit down next month and they consider the inflation, unemployment, economic growth dynamics, what's happening in the world economy, the Aussie dollar will be one of the last things on their list as an influence to change policy. So the dollar's falling for good reasons, and because of that, the RBA will just let it go through to the keeper. It's a floating exchange rate. It goes up and down. So each time it goes down, don't panic. If it's falling for good reasons, that is exactly the design mechanism of why Mr. Keating floated the Aussie dollar back in 1983. Thank you.